Every popular long-running game franchise goes through what I like to call the dark times.
Halo has always been synonymous with online competition.
Oh, you're opening up a pack. Mongoose, Needler, Ghost, Fubro Cannon. Yes. All the details are.
There is not a single title on this entire disc that's working to form right now.
There will be split screen.
News that we got the official confirmation that Halo Infinite has gone gold.
Let's go.
That actually might be about to change. November, the winter update drops as expected. The main event, the Forge beta. We had already seen glimpses of what these tools could actually do. Believe me, it has not disappointed. We finally have a mechanism to bring player-generated content into Halo Infinite, something that's been missing from the title since it came out. In 2022, a Halo game without player-made content isn't a Halo anymore. So we're finally getting back there. Now obviously we didn't really get the means to actually play these maps and game types that we were making. It didn't release with a custom game browser, which means that aside from fledgling communities trying to build themselves up to be a custom game hub, we didn't really have a way of actually finding these games to play. In comes the December update, featuring a surprise guest. Custom game browsers. I am not exaggerating when I say seeing that in the patch notes made me more excited about Halo than I think I've been since before Infinite released. Like I said, custom games and player-made content are the lifeblood of Halo. When matchmaking's got boring and you don't want to grind out to try and get any unlockables anymore, Forge and custom games were what kept the game going, and will do for years to come. So the fact that we have a custom game browser now, right when Forge is at its peak, that's pretty good going. And honestly, as good as that is, for me that's not even the best part of the December update. The real hidden gem there is that little line they put right at the bottom about fixing mouse and keyboard and making it easier to play. For me, that alone is enough to start the resurrection of Halo Infinite. The game's been dead for far too long, but now that mouse and keyboard are playable and actually fun to play on against controller players, now is the time to start playing Halo again. And even after all of that, 343 wasn't done. In another update for Master Chief Collection, we finally got workshop support. Now obviously mods have been around for MCC for a while now since the mod tools have been released, but the mod tools hadn't been released for all games. And now we finally got them all, and on top of that, a way for everyone to easily access those mods. No more going to Nexus Mods and trying to install these mods manually. Now we literally can just click a button and we've got the mods right there ready to go. This has let loose the wacky, crazy side of modded Halo. And if you're a console player, right now, this doesn't mean a lot to you. But for PC Halo players, modding is one of the most important parts of PC Halo. I mean, you've got Halo Custom Edition that even now still has people playing it and still has people making mods for it. 20 years later, we are still seeing new content. That just goes to show how important modding is to keeping a game alive. Whilst the mod existed before, thanks to the implementation of Workshop, in my opinion, the best available PvE content for Halo is right there, readily accessible. I'll be making a video about that very soon. So with all of that said and done, is Halo finally coming back?
It cannot be.
Well, there's momentum here that I haven't seen for a very, very long time. Considering how everyone was feeling around September and that update.
Correct answer to the question, who is the worst game developer, is 343 Industries.
I couldn't have imagined how positive the player base would be now. The next big thing on the horizon for Halo Infinite is Project Tatanka. The rumored Battle Royale game mode that, if it's anywhere near as cool as what the rumors are suggesting, I think honestly is the future of multiplayer Halo. However, if these same rumors are to be believed, the very, very earliest that we're going to see Project Tatanka is June 2023. Now that's a whole 6 months without any other big content that I'm aware of coming out. So what happens next? Well, I think the priority for 343 is to make use of all of these new tools and features that they've just put out for everyone. We have Forge. There is no excuse for a lack of maps in matchmaking anymore. Absolutely none whatsoever. There should be someone whose job it is to go through the custom game browsers, to go through the subreddits to find the popular maps that everyone's playing and repurpose those for matchmaking. Someone should be paid to do that. I mean, You want to pay me to do that? I'll happily do that. Like, I ain't got a problem with that at all. That should be the first priority right now. The second priority, and I would assume it doesn't need the same people, so there's no reason why this couldn't be done at the same time, is that we need to get all of the broken stuff that's still broken in this game a year after release. We need to get that fixed. Desync, no one's going to want to play the game if that keeps happening. So that needs to be eradicated as much as possible. We also need to see fixes to stuff like theater. Theater mode at the moment feels like the three-legged puppy that's just getting kicked around. Like, no one, I don't think anyone has mentioned theater. If any devs have mentioned theater and actually fixing it, I haven't seen it. And hey, maybe I've missed that, but it just feels like at the moment, no one really cares. And I kind of get it. Most people that want to record footage and stuff, they're probably just going to want to do that themselves. Everyone's got screen recording stuff nowadays, whether they're on PC or console. Still, it's a feature in the game that doesn't work. And there's no reason for that to be the case. After that, we need to start seeing some PvE content. Whether that be a campaign expansion, which I was kind of hoping we'd already have seen by now, honestly, the way that the campaign was left, or that be a PvE mode like Firefight or Warzone or something like that. We need to see some kind of development there. Even if it's just a teaser or an announcement, we need to know that stuff is being worked on. Halo Infinite is supposed to be the 10-year game. Right now, we are a year in, and we have not seen any new PvE content at all. You know, I don't want to be in a situation where all I've got to play for the next 10 years is multiplayer. I like multiplayer. It's my main thing I do when I play Halo. But I'd like some campaign as well. I'd like to see some story. I like where it's going. So that for me is what I think we need to see over the next 6 months to keep everyone interested before Tatanka. But honestly, the main take that I want to give here is that it's good to be able to talk positively about Halo again. It's been a long time. And I hope that this continues. I really do.